it's that time of the cinematic year again when we get to talk about a movie that everyone's gonna love, that has had a huge following, and that is the Fast and the Furious franchise, and more specifically, The Fate of the Furious. Now, The Fate of the Furious is the eighth installment in this Fast and the Furious franchise, and since Furious 7 made over $1 billion, it would stand to reason that they would need to make another one. This time around, Don Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, has been contacted by Cypher, a huge villain of this universe, and has leverage on Don as he is forced to go against his team, his quote-unquote family, as this series likes to say 900% of the time. And it's up to Don's former crew to try to solve why he's acting the way he is, and to stop the evil plans that Cypher has in store for the whole team as well as the entire world. What I can say from the first start of this movie is that this movie, the story, is pretty much bad. Nothing makes sense in this film, but, this is a huge but, I like this film. I like it. From the opening action sequence, it's really, really riveting. I love the way, it makes fun of the fact that it's getting insane, how huge the action is getting, and it doesn't pander, it doesn't make itself to be all too serious. This is just a fun film that you don't need to have a solid story with in order to have a good time. It's led by some pretty nice performers, of course. Jason Statham has one of the best action scenes in this movie, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson is always kind of a nice pleasure to have in the film. But it's usually with some of the more supportive characters in this entire movie that always always kind of fall apart. But I had enough fun in this film that I would say I would recommend this film. The ending of this film leaves it open for another movie, so maybe we'll get that weird idea of Fast and Furious in space. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but believe me, they're probably gonna do it somehow. You know, and I wanna point this out here because this is something that I've been kind of like pulling around in my head. My university in particular, they take pride in films that have deeper meanings, that have deeper political motivations and whatnot, because it is a university after all. And I've always questioned them and said, does every movie need to have a political undertone to make it a good movie? In my opinion, no. Because this film, even though it doesn't have a very good plot, its characters are very bland to very boring, and the dialogue here can be a bit mixed at times, it still relies on very, very well-made action, very good editing, very good pacing, probably one of the best I've seen out of the series so far, and it's just fun. It's really fun. It's a fun film that knows what it's doing. It doesn't take itself too seriously, because again, the franchise is way beyond taking itself very seriously. And I think any Fast and the Furious fan will probably like this film. Maybe not as much as the others, but I do think that this film was actually kind of fun. My personal opinion is they should have just ended after Furious 7. But you know what? I'm going to let everyone have this franchise. This is a franchise that I can fully get behind. This is a franchise that says to the audience, it doesn't matter about the story. The story doesn't matter for the most part. It's the action. It's the way that we can creatively make action fun again. And that's what I got out of this film. And I shouldn't expect much more. It's just fun, it's dumb, it's action-packed, the pacing's good, the editing's good. I like this movie. Do I think it's a great movie? No. Do I even think it's a good movie? No. but I'm going to highly recommend it because in a time like this where we have an oversaturation of films that need to somehow have some sort of deeper meaning, it's fun to sit back for a while and watch a bunch of fun action with some cool characters in a nicely paced and edited movie. And it's lovingly done too. Let me repeat that. Like they have this action car chase type stuff handled down to a T. It's very well put. It's very well done. So, what am I going to give Fate of the Furious? Well, I'm going to give The Fate of the Furious a C+. It is very much well worth your time. It's a fun movie that, yes, has its problems, and I did have to dig them down for it, but I would still recommend it for those of you who want to actually, like, see just a fun movie and take your mind out of things, because, you know, in this world where it's very, very over-politicized, it's fun to just sit back, relax, and watch a fun action movie that doesn't need to make sense. It's a very good guilty pleasure film, and it's a so bad that it's good film because it has like so much going for it. And while the story doesn't fully add up, it's just, you know, it's a fun movie. I would recommend it for anyone that wants to see it. So, thank you for watching my review. I'm going to be reviewing this weekend. I'm reviewing Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. So make sure you tune in for that. That episode comes out tomorrow. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.